Hello, welcome to Drinks with Ron. I'm Ron, and I need a drink. Willie Nelson talking about the weed and the cocaine, and in fact, the pills, and the whiskey, too. But let me digress. I mean, it's such a great fucking track. The only way it could be better is that if I had actually just done the weed and the cocaine and the whiskey, too. I guess he said pills, but for me that would be like an Aleve. That's what 43-year-old Ron talks about when he says popping pills. I mean, an Aleve because my hip's been fucking, and I had this rip where I fell down on the ice. That's a whole thing. But it's a special Ron's 43rd birthday 2-for-1 episode spectacular here at the Triumvirate of Taps at Third Generation Brewing. And I, Ron, have thrown down the gauntlet because what happened is I needed to clean out this tap, empty the keg so that I could put in the Blackberry Vanilla Hazy IPA that is ready to roll. So that's exactly what happened, but in order to do that, I had to fill this pitcher, and I shot my mouth off the Wrath of Todd Fine, which says I have to finish my drink before the episode is over. That's still in effect, but I threw down the gauntlet and said, no, I won't. Since this is my drink, I need to have that finished by the end of episode 2, or my Wrath of Todd Fine doubles. From $2, it'll go up to $4, because I'll have to pay for both episodes. So that's the deal. I'm going to try not to linger. I'm going to try to do some drinking. But as I said, it's my birthday. In the last episode I didn't actually intend to talk about that. That wasn't really the plan. No, sir. In fact, what I had planned on talking about was somebody else's birthday. You want to see my 40th birthday? Go back 3 years on Drinks with Ron. It was like fucking 30-something below. It was so fucking cold the USPS pulled carriers off the fucking streets. Insane. That was my 40th. But my 40th is me sitting on a couch over there drinking a couple of High Lifes. And it pales in comparison to a gentleman I met in La Crosse. And this, in fact, is my proof that I survived Rickyz with a Z 40th. Can you see that? I do a bad job. I'm terrible at this. But yes, I did survive Rickyz 40th by... Holy shit, tape still works after almost 20 years. God, it's been 20 years. This Ricky dude's almost 60. But, as I said, Ricky with a Z is everything you're imagining and a little bit more. Let me rewind it back. Throw it in reverse, Ron. Let's back up the time truck. Beep, beep, beep. The year 2002, I believe. 2002, 2003. It doesn't really matter. What matters, I guess it is 20-year anniversary, 2002. What matters is, let me paint you this picture. I'm in La Crosse, Wisconsin. If you don't know La Crosse, the main thing it's famous for, well, not only the world's largest six-pack of beer, but you go Google that if you don't know about it. I used to live right near the world's largest six-pack. But the main thing that La Crosse is known for is Oktoberfest. La Crosse has like the second largest Oktoberfest in the world, behind Germany. So, needless to say, if you're a 22, 23-year-old kid living in La Crosse and it's Oktoberfest and you get off work on a Friday and the sun is still up, well, you're probably going to grab a friend of yours and you and her are probably going to go bar hopping. So we did. I mean, I think by 5:30 we're sitting on stools. We're already getting deep into it. You know, one of those where you come out of the bar and you step out and it's like, oh, Jesus Christ, there's sun. So I started feeling good. We worked our way down 3rd Street. Literally bar hopping. If you don't know 3rd Street, that's the third thing La Crosse, Wisconsin is famous for. Guinness Book of World Records for, I believe, most bars like on a row in the street. It's some weird thing, you know, like on a full moon with a left-handed bartender. But 3rd and 4th Street in La Crosse, hey, go pull up the Google. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it's just wall-to-wall bars. So we just hopped one to another, to another, to another. We finally got near the end to what I think might have been, I don't know, Terrapin Station, maybe some kind of hippie-ish bar at the time, where there's this skinny white dude with big fat fucking dookie dreads, man, like the big thick mothers, like all the way down his back to his ass. I don't think I'd ever dealt with anybody that had the full-on dude. Like, I had crazy hair myself. It's been described as Sideshow Bob meets Slipknot. Just the hair, I had enough to kind of do little twisty dreads that would come out. So I was a character myself. But this Ricky guy over here, I don't know he's Ricky, but he's taking the cake. He's just woo, dancing, having the greatest time. So I must have been sitting at the bar doing this shit. I don't know. I'm not sure. I had to have been, because this Ricky dude comes up to me and says, "Hey, you play bass?" And I'm like, "How the fuck do you know that? Is there a sign on me?" "No, idiot. You were probably sitting at the bar going, and you look like a bass player." So yeah, he asked me. I'm taken aback, because how does Ricky know I play bass? But I'm like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Dude, it's my birthday. I just got my bass and my amp out of hock from the pawn shop. I'm having a birthday party. I'm getting wasted. You need to come. You need to bring your bass. You can show me some stuff. You can teach me. It's going to be a party. Hey, you smoke?" Somebody need to do the shirt laundry. I guess the hair kind of gives it away. So like, oh, well, yeah. But here's the thing. For you kids these days, the fall is generally harvest season, which is good news. But if you don't know anything about the growing of the marijuana, there is a period in between there where you have to cut, hang, dry, cure, the whole thing. So although maybe the whole big bumper crop is on the horizon, there's this window where there's nothing. So I'm finding nothing. So this Ricky guy's like, "Yeah, come out to my place." Gives me his address. He's not in La Crosse. He's in like the next town down the road. 4,000 people, the size of the town that I'm in right now. Okay. So my friend with me, she's like not all about the whole Ricky thing. So I'm like, well, I'm gonna head home, change, get my shit together, grab my bass, and I'm heading up to West Salem, man. So I must have get home. My buddy, guy, other weird birthday phenomenon, my Jedi powers, buddy of mine that I have not talked to in years, comes back into my life a few weeks ago. We'll call him the Puritan. He must have given me a call and says, "Hey man, what's going on, Oktoberfest?" And I lay the whole Ricky story on. I'm like, "Dude, this is a thing that has to happen. Like, we have to do this. I need this story." And he is like, "I'm in." So, actually, he might have fucking shown up at my house, honestly. So, I basically, changed my shirt. I think I was still in uniform, smelling like pizza and shattered dreams. And, so I changed my shirt, grabbed my bass, like, well, let's fucking hit the Ron Mobile. God, I think I didn't even have, I was still driving a Celebrity at this time? I don't know, it's not important. But we drive up the road to Rickyz Adventure, Ricky's 40th. And we show up at his place, and the shit storm clusterfuck was everything you could imagine. There's a dude there with like a giant goiter on his neck. Looks like he's out of some, I don't know what he looked like, but it was very off-putting. Ricky, who's absolutely shit-canned, he's got his bass and his amp out of hock. He's got a fucking, like a Marshall stack this fucking high. Ricky's got like 15s, or 212. I don't know what the fuck, they were huge. He wanted me to kind of show him some lessons, teach him some stuff, so he admittedly wasn't real great, but he had that fucker cranked to 10. Like, we pull up and it's woo, we can hear it from the street. I'm like, oh my god, man. You sure we're ready for this? Like, we're gonna do this? So we walk in, and I said that we got goiter dude, but then we also have Ricky's wife. Ricky is married to this absolutely gorgeous, stunning African woman. She's got like multiple degrees. She's, I don't even think Ricky's working. She's doing all the shit, and I mean, she's just like, our jaws are dropped. Like, Ricky told us his wife was amazing, and we were just like, yeah, Ricky, we'll see. Oh no, Ricky delivered. And apparently they had moved out here from San Francisco. So Ricky is not familiar with Wisconsin, and small town Wisconsin at that. So he's in a little over his head. I've got a healthy dose of small town paranoia, so I'm already like, well, I'm not sure about this. Where Ricky says, hey, I told you got some green. I'm like, yes, that's kind of why we're here. He pulls out a fucking paper grocery bag and hands it to me. And I open it up, and it was full of stemmy, seedy, ditchweedy looking, but he was rolling up giant hooters the size of your finger. And then, so we smoked, and I said, I'm paranoid, so I keep sneaking over, and like, as he's playing, slowly turning the bass down a little bit, and then I do it incrementally, and he'd just come back over and spin it up to 10, womp, 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 the house is shaking, my heart's fucking pounding. I'm like, dude, I like a good toke as much as the next guy 20-something years ago, but I wasn't all about the attention being drawn. Like I said, you could hear the bass from the street. So we wind up, I don't know what happened, but we drove back to get Puritan's roommate because she's got to get in on this shit. I think I wound up taking my bass back, like something's going to happen, it's going to get broken. So we pick her up, we come back out, and then Ricky's got to put the badge of honor on everybody, so he's really wanting to put it on her, right? Like, put it on and make sure that it sticks. And she's just kind of looking at him like, we're doing this? This is what... Okay, all right. And, his gorgeous African wife is just like, is Ricky, whatever her amazing accent was. But by now, Ricky has decided he's going to make weed butter. So he's taking handfuls of this and putting it on the counter, or putting it in a pan with butter, and he's flaming it up on a gas fucking thing. I said gas. So the butter's getting hot. It's smoking up the whole place. This brittle, dry, ditchy weed is like more burning than sauteing. And Ricky's just fucking wumping away on the bass. House shaking, filling with smoke. Paranoia is at like all-time high. I'm like, I can't stay here. So I go to the bathroom to take a piss. And then finally Ricky is giving the bass a break, which I'm like, thank you. Okay, we're on the edge of town, but we're in town. I delivered pizzas at the time. I'm familiar with the cut. I know how it works here. So there was a chance the bass wasn't going to be too much of a problem. But as I'm taking a piss in the bathroom, wait for it. So, as I go into Ricky's, with a Z, bathroom, oh man, is that a bug? Undaunted, he continued. I went into Ricky's bathroom, trying to take a leak. I'm standing there, when all of a sudden, boom! And the fucking walls start shaking. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Boom! Hear it again. Like now I'm like probably pissing all over Ricky's bathroom. We're like freaking out here. Like this isn't a gunshot, okay? I got a handful of guns back here. We're on a hunter safety. I know about guns. This was no gunshot. I'm thinking there's a fucking mortar round coming on us. Well, I wasn't too far off. Because consummate party throwing man Ricky had decided to buy a whole bunch of heavy-duty fireworks. Heavy fucking duty. Where he's launching up the big boomers. Like I said, literally the bathroom wall shook. So, I bailed out of there, man. I just, I come out of the bathroom and I'm like, dude, we gotta go. The base was borderline. I was worried about the local city police showing up to that. But the fucking mortar rounds in the background, as the guy is burning a pan full of weed butter, the whole house is now full of black smoke. Fucking bass amps cranked, just fucking vibrating with the nothing from probably from the recklessness in the air. It was picked up by the fucking pickups on the bass. Cranked up, come through, you could feel it. It was like, the reverberation said, get the fuck out of here. You don't want to be here when Ricky's got to deal with authorities. Authorities with a Z. Oh, but I'm gonna have to say at this point, I'm gonna concede my loss, man. That's a lot of beer. And where do these bugs keep coming from? It's a lot of bug-filled beer. I'm already half in the bag. I drank about 11 beers last night. So if you want to go check out my Untapped app, I've got photographic verification that is the case. Granted, a couple of them were only 5.5 ounces, but those were also north of 8%. So although I didn't consume 11 beers in fluid ounce tally, I more than made up for that in alcohol percentage. But I also drank about 7 waters last night, or 8. I went almost water for beer. I felt great, but I'm not gonna make it. So, a defeated 43rd birthday Ron for Drinks with Ron, signing off.